Can you consider McDonald's a store? I will, and we'll check out McDonald's apple pie today. Hi everyone, Mike here with Mike's Dessert Decision, your source for store-bought dessert reviews. Today we're here with another installment in our series on apple pies. Today's apple pie is a little bit different. It comes from McDonald's, which isn't a store, it's more of a restaurant, I guess you could say. However, you can buy it instantaneously just like you could at a store. And I've never had a McDonald's apple pie before, so I wanted to review one anyways. And we're gonna see how it lives up to its legendary status as a great dessert. Now, before we look at the pie and taste the pie, let's go over how we score our desserts here on Mike's Dessert Decision. All of our desserts are scored on a scale of 0 to 30, and in the case of pies, we split that up into 3 different categories. You have appearance, crust, and filling, and each category gets a score of 0 to 10, and you combine those scores to get your final score on the pie. All right, the McDonald's apple pie. I've never had one before, and I've never even seen one before, to be honest with you. And we're gonna take a look at it and see how it rates in the appearance department. Okay, so looking at this apple pie, it's kind of hard to judge it against the traditional apple pie that's, you know, a full apple pie. But we're gonna look at it anyways and give it a score based on what we have. And it looks appetizing, I'll give it that. The crust is a nice golden brown. You can see apples through the crust, they look good. There's a sugary coating on the top, which looks very appetizing. It smells good. So it's essentially the same as an apple pie. It's got an apple filling and it's got a crust. So we're gonna look at it as a pie, which is what McDonald's markets it as. And looking at it, it looks pretty good, I have to say. Based on appearance alone, I'm gonna score this a 6 out of 10. All right, now comes my favorite part, the tasting of the pie. And as usual, I gotta have a little sip of milk here first. And first, we're gonna look at the crust and see how that scores. So, I'm gonna try to get just a little bit of the crust here, try not to get any of the filling, and we'll see how that rates. All right, here's a little bit of crust. Try to get another little piece over here. All right. Well, the crust is, to be honest with you, the crust pleasantly surprised me. It's kind of flaky. It's got kind of a crispiness to it, which is very appealing. The flavor is sweet, it's got sugar in it and it's got sugar on it, but it has a bit of a buttery flavor to it. It's actually, the flavor is excellent. I'm really quite surprised, and pleasantly so. So based on that, I'll give the crust a score of 6 out of 10. All right, now let's cleanse the palate once more with some milk. That's good. Now it's time to test the filling. And as usual, we're gonna get some of the filling and some of the crust and see how it rates on filling. Wow. The filling. So, I was expecting something that would be strongly seasoned, you know, with a heavy hand to give it a lot more flavor than it might otherwise have. However, it's not. It's got a tiny bit of a cinnamon flavor, but it's barely there, and it's mostly a strong apple flavor, which I like. Now, the texture of the apples is a little less cooked than I would prefer. And you do have the infamous goop in here. However, I think it adds a good balance to the sort of undercooked part of the apple. You're not bursting with apples here. It's got some apples, but it's got also some of this goop that's filling it up. The consistency of the goop is a little thicker, which to me is a better thing. And the flavor, as I said, is actually a pleasant surprise. It's a very appley flavor. Not a strong cinnamon or nutmeg flavor. It's a very appley flavor. And when you combine that with the above average crust, it has a very nice texture to it. I'm really actually very pleasantly surprised with that. And just to try the apples once more here. They're a bit more tart than I was expecting, which is a good thing in my opinion, because you have the goop, which is very sweet as usual, and the tartness of the apple really brings that apple flavor forward. So overall, you've got a very well-balanced flavor for an apple pie. I mean, this is a McDonald's pie, and I'll be honest with you, I was not expecting anything this good. We had a 6 on the appearance, just based on how appetizing it looks. You've had a 6 on the crust, because that was excellent texture and flavor. And for the filling, I'm going to give it a 6 as well. So you're looking at an 18 out of 30 for the McDonald's apple pie. And that's not a bad score at all for something like this. I honestly, I'm very pleasantly surprised. So the McDonald's apple pie, it scored a surprising 18 out of 30, a 6 in each category, which is a strong overall showing. It has really no weaknesses, to be honest with you. It's small. I mean, we could go there and say it's small, but it's priced accordingly, and it's instantly ready to eat. You can get it from the drive-thru. You can get it, walking up to the counter inside the restaurant, and it's ready for you immediately to buy. So the convenience is there. The price is low. I believe I paid $1 to $1.50. I'm not exactly sure. It was around $1, a little over $1, I believe, with tax for this pie. So to me, that's a bargain. Strong showing on the McDonald's apple pie, and I, for one, am very surprised. Something that's been tweaked over the years, but has always been a popular item, and I think now they've converted another fan here in me. Okay, so that was the McDonald's apple pie. I decided to do that today just to throw a curveball at you, try something a little bit different. However, if you like to make your own pies, I am strongly supporting you in that endeavor. And if you do, I strongly suggest you check out the pie plate that I use. It's in the link in the description below. It's a large pie plate, and it's one that will help you cook the pie evenly. But honestly, most importantly, it's large, which you want when you're making your own pie. So check that out, and if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, and you can hit the like button if you like. And I'll see you in the next dessert review.